Hey, welcome back to my channel, and today we're talking about Lost Soul Aside patch. First up, the cosmetic side of the update is clearly a major focus. The new Draconic series appearances add a fresh look for Cassir, Fusion Blast, and matching weapon appearances, while the note also says Cassir's appearance can be purchased from Liana's shop, and the Fusion Blast appearance plus the Glory Form appearance unlock after finishing the first playthrough. The matching weapon looks can be crafted at Liana's workshop using phantom cards. On top of that, Liana gets her own Meow series appearances, which can either be bought from her shop or crafted with phantom cards. And there are also 5 new weapon accessory effect appearances you can make in the workshop the same way. That means this patch is really leaning into customization, and not just in a surface level way, because it is giving players more reasons to revisit the workshop, spend resources, and make their loadout feel more personal. There is also a neat little touch where the Fusion Blast appearance now supports individual change, and the Metamorphosis white-haired fusion merge look unlocks after the first playthrough, which is the kind of detail costume collectors will absolutely notice. The update also adds controller D-pad weapon switching, which can be adjusted in the controls menu, and that is one of those changes that sounds minor until you remember how much more fluid combat can feel when weapon swaps are easier and faster. It also increases the autosave slot limit to the latest 6 autosaves, which is a welcome safety net, especially in a game where a bad run or an unexpected crash can cost you progress. Another big addition is the scoring system in story mode, with combat ratings and chapter settlement screens, so the game now gives players a clearer sense of how they performed as they move through the campaign. Enemy name display is also being improved, since elite enemies and bosses now show their names, which makes encounters feel a little more readable and a little more polished. For players who like a tougher challenge, the Pact of Arrogance accessory can be bought at Liana's shop and raises the difficulty when equipped, which is a clever way to give veterans a self-imposed challenge without forcing it on everyone else. On the optimization side, there is a nice mix of convenience and combat quality of life improvements. Bag and storage capacity logic has been adjusted, so item limits for selling and crafting now count the total allowed in both spaces, which should make inventory management less confusing. Morph icons have been improved too. So morphed weapons and weapon accessories now have clearer icons that show their altered appearance at a glance. The game now lets you hold to skip dialogue during standing conversations, which is perfect for repeat runs or anyone who just wants to move through slower story sections more quickly. Defeating elite enemies now grants healing potions. Phantom cards can be purchased up to 300 at Liana's shop, and even the minigame in Buckhorn Palace where Arena collects balls has been updated so you can dash with the dodge button. There are also balance and pacing changes, like reducing the difficulty of the rotating laser platforming section in the Entropis dimension on hard mode, and adjusting the countdown so it is not as punishing. In combat, one of the more notable tweaks is that camera buffering is disabled when entering aiming mode with the Poleblade while locked on, which should make battles feel snappier. Poleblade attack damage is also increased by 15%, so that weapon is getting a meaningful boost rather than just a tiny numerical nudge. The patch continues with interaction polish too, including improved entry and exit flow for Liana's preparation menu, clearer upgrade descriptions, and added clarification around the prerequisites for sync finishers after using all weapons. Exploration and encounter guidance have been refined as well, with Voidrak's Pathfinder now able to help with the totem puzzle at the entrance of the Four Tides Coliseum, and improved guidance inside the Hall of Wisdom maze in the Royal Court of Frosthold. The White Dragon chase battle also gets a better laser trap layout, while monster hit animations have been adjusted to improve impact, and there are lighting, animation, and sound fixes in certain cutscenes. One especially noticeable presentation upgrade is that pre-recorded video cutscenes have been replaced with 60 FPS versions, which should make cinematic moments feel smoother and more consistent with the rest of the game's motion. Then come the bug fixes, and there are quite a few. The update addresses tutorial progression issues tied to skip prologue, fixes a document visibility problem in Skymere Lake, resolves a PS5 control remapping issue, and fixes a crash in Challenge Mode's teaching room when entering it right after a new story mode save. It also cleans up a scene loading issue in Buckhorn Palace, a damage loss problem during sync finisher use in Fusion Blast state, a greatsword charge interruption when pressing R2 too early, UI stuttering when swapping weapons after Scythe backstep reap, and another weapon switch stutter that could block burst pursuit. There are also fight-specific fixes for Torch, Squall, and the Buckhorn Spirit Dragon, plus appearance and collision fixes for Cassir's outfits, including Ocean's Embrace, Origin, and Primal White. On PC, the update fixes mouse selection for the skip prologue pop-up and a keyboard and mouse camera rotation issue after exiting the Poleblade tutorial following the Buckhorn Spirit Dragon fight. So overall, this patch feels like a proper cleanup and enrichment update, with enough new content to matter and enough technical fixes to make returning to the game more comfortable, more readable, and more polished for players on both PS5 and PC.